Welcome to the Wellness Biz Academy, where we turn passionate practitioners into profitable practice owners. I'm Cass Duffield, corporate business strategist and naturopath, showing you how to build a thriving practice with simple, proven systems that work. Let's create the practice that you long to have, because it's time to start living your passion and growing your practice. Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we are taking a short deviation away from marketing, because I want to talk about the other side of that coin for a little bit. The other side of that coin, the other side of the marketing coin, is sales. It's sales and revenue. The reason we're talking about this topic today is because it's something that's coming up for my clients right now and the people in my audience. Lots of questions coming to me about how we can get more revenue in the door. So today we are going to be having a bit of a straight talking chat about revenue, because no matter how much we love what we do, we also want to see those revenue numbers going up and up month by month. So that's why today I'm going to be talking to you about 4 of what I believe are the leading revenue streams, online revenue streams that you can be using in your business. We aren't just going to be talking about the average ways to add revenue to your business. I'm going to be talking about some right now that are working, that my clients and myself are using really successfully. We're also going to be talking about best practices and how you can start implementing these in your business as well. The ideas that I've got for you today, they're encompassing what's working in the online space, because I want you to get inspired. I want you to get creative, and I want you to add new revenue streams to your business. I don't want you to be stuck on that feast and famine roundabout. And one of the best ways to get off that is by adding new revenue streams. We don't want all of our eggs in one basket, do we? So get your notepad, friends. Today is going to be a big one. Let's get to it. First of all, offer strategy number 1. And I am starting at the top of the tree, and I'm starting at the top of the tree with high ticket offers. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Cass, why are you talking about high ticket offers in this economy? So hear me out. Give me a second. Just listen in for a second. Right now, nothing is selling as well as one-to-one. People want that one-to-one support, that tailored approach, and they're willing to pay for it. With high ticket offers right now, you won't just attract the perfect clients for your offer, but you will also get a really great revenue injection from just a handful of sales. So in a time where the economy is a little bit softer, you actually are better off aiming for high ticket sales, where you need less people through the door to hit the revenue goals that you have. One thing that I want for all of you, because you're all amazing entrepreneurs and you all specialize in amazing areas, I think you deserve to get paid well for what you do. You support your clients so well and you offer them amazing transformations. That deserves a decent income. So high ticket offers can be a really great way to do that. High ticket are great for very specialized services, very specialized products. Think things like in-depth mentoring, health coaching, some sort of bespoke services, premium packages, and even some done-for-you services as well. There's a really wide range of industries, services, and types that you could use as a high-ticket offer. To create the best high-ticket offer, you've got to get the balance right. And that balance is what you specialize in against what your client actually needs from you. So you have to think about, what can you offer? What do you do better than anybody else? And then think about what that client really needs. What do they need to get that outcome? Start by thinking about what you can offer that's worth somebody committing a decent payment to be able to access. High ticket can work really well in complex situations or specific problems. Those sort of situations where people might need more tailored support or longer term support, because high ticket will allow you to offer highly targeted and very unique solutions and get very targeted outcomes for your clients. So it's about charging your worth. It's about not being shy about it. It is about delivering an incredible experience for that client. The key here with any offer, and you've heard me say this before, is the transformation. And the experience that you offer needs to reflect the price that your client is paying for it. A quick tip for you here on high ticket selling as well. Consultative selling is imperative with high ticket. That means that you're matching the service to what that ideal client needs, making sure that's a good fit. You're not just pushing any product onto that person just for the sake of making a sale. You're making sure that the product is really well aligned with what that client needs and that it's going to give them the solution that they're looking for. What you're delivering in a high ticket is a highly curated solution. You'll have a framework or a standard process that is the same across every client that you work with, but it's going to be tailored so it's bespoke for every single client that you're helping. And that gives them the best outcomes, so much better than when they're doing a DIY program or an online group program or a course. There's so many great selling benefits for high ticket. I want you to deep dive your ideal client. Think about what is their deepest desire? What do they really want to achieve? What do they really want to have? What do they really want to fix in their life? What do they want to improve? People will pay money for health or wealth or happiness. So think about those three things. What can you do to make their life easier and give them happiness? What can you do to improve their health? What can you do to improve their finances? Think about that. I'm sure there's some things that you can be doing. Once you've got an idea of their deepest desires and what they really need and want to achieve, then you can craft an offer that becomes the perfect solution, the perfect remedy. Next up, we're talking about offer strategy number 2. And offer strategy number 2 in my book is low ticket. So we've gone right from the high ticket and now we're talking low ticket. But the great thing about low ticket is that it's a stepping stone to everything else that comes after in your business. Low ticket has 2 really unique benefits in my mind. Firstly, they're at a price point that pretty much everybody in your audience will be able to afford. So everybody could experience it. It makes it a very potentially lucrative, high volume sales channel for you if it's done right. It's also a great way for customers to sample what it's like to work with you, the kind of outcomes they could expect without a big commitment of time or money. So they're not having to outlay a lot, but they get to test the waters and see if it's right for them. The other thing about low ticket that I really love is the magic of validation. I use low ticket offers in my business and I get my clients to use them in their business as well because a low ticket offer validates your high ticket. If you have a low ticket offer that nobody is buying, then there's no point creating a high ticket offer on the same concept. If you cannot sell it at a low price point, it's going to be very hard to sell a solution on that same vein at a higher price. So a low ticket offer is absolute magic when it comes to validating ideas and confirming whether what you're considering creating is something that your ideal clients actually want. A great example here is you could release a low ticket offer that speaks to the same solution as your high ticket. An example of this would be back in my clinician days as a naturopath. My high ticket offer was gut recovery, a 12-week program, but there was a low ticket 3-week gut kickstart plan that people could buy. It was a DIY. It was under $100 and that could get them the start of the journey. Now I knew because I'd been selling that low ticket for some time quite successfully, I knew I had a market of people who wanted gut-related healthcare. So that meant that I could go ahead and create my 12-week premium high-ticket offer. Once you've got a low ticket that is selling, you know your clients want what you have to offer there. So you can go ahead and produce your high-ticket offer. Where will you start when it comes to low ticket? Like every offer, you start with your client, your ideal client, what you help them with, the solution that they need from you, what they really want. Then consider what is the very start of that journey for them? Where could they begin and package that up into a low ticket offer? Really, it could be anything from a mini course. It could be template bundles. It could be downloadable offers. It could be a tool. It could be an app you've created. It could be anything that addresses the specific problem that this ideal client has. The strategy number 3 that I find is working at the moment, done properly, caveat there, done well, is memberships and subscriptions. Now, I know it feels like everybody in the last few years jumped on the membership and subscription train. I know, but this year they have experienced a little bit of a shakeup. Actually, it started last year, but there's been a bit of a shakeup here and they haven't been selling as well as they normally would. We're seeing Sign-up rates got a bit lower. We're seeing churn rates increase. Churn is the amount of time somebody stays in your membership or subscription before they jump out. Traditionally, that rate was always about 9 months, and lately it's about 3 months. So that said, you're probably wondering, Cass, why on earth are you suggesting we look at memberships and subscriptions? I think that the problems with existing subscriptions and memberships leaves you a great opportunity. We're always looking for opportunity where we can jump on in and solve a problem, aren't we? So looking at the problems with your older style memberships and subscriptions and how they're not working so well, we can find ways to do it better. The reason these old school ones aren't working so well is they're not delivering what people want. This is where you have a huge opportunity in front of you to create one that does answer what your audience wants. Gone are the days that you can create any old series of masterclasses and trainings, pop them in an online portal, call it a membership, and people will just line up and buy it. Those days are gone. But if you want to add a membership or subscription to your revenue streams, the key is to build it the right way. The right way right now means it has to have community. It needs to offer exclusive content. It has to have ongoing value, but over and above, it has to create a journey. So just like your one-to-one services and your online programs take your clients from point A to point B, where they are now to where they want to be, your membership has to do the same. There has to be a journey. There has to be an outcome. A quick tip for you here. I want you to go and have a look at your computer. Look at your hard drive. I guarantee that somewhere on your computer is a file, a folder, a document, something that could start your journey into the realm of memberships and subscriptions. There are bound to be ideas, content, worksheets, resources that you've already created. I know you have, and you probably haven't used half of them. These could start to build your subscription or your membership. Think about the ideas that you could start there, and what does your audience need? How can you provide it in a subscription or in a membership? Overall though, if you're adding a membership or a subscription, the key is keep the purpose of it front and center. Keep that journey really clear. Keep the content really fresh, and you need to find ways to keep engagement high. Consider things like gamifying the content. Maybe quizzes, worksheets can work really well. How can you get people to connect and create community? Can you have networking events, either in person or online? So think about how you can deliver what needs to be brought through in that membership in a way that can really support the people that are in there. Because when it comes to this type of revenue, memberships and subscriptions, the key here is actually creating a very meaningful space, a space where your members can grow, where they can connect, where they can learn. It's got to have purpose beyond just learning, because in this current market, people won't pay for education. But what we do pay for is community. We pay for connection, and we pay for a guided journey under the supportive eyes of an expert. Now, the last strategy I have for you on income is passive income. Now, I know this is a gold standard for a lot of you. I know many of you are aiming to add passive income to your business. And I know you've heard the adage, work smarter, not harder. And you've probably also heard add passive income and make money while you sleep. These aren't true. These are not true. So let's round out this episode with some ideas and best practices on passive income, passive revenue, and how you can add this to your business. Because no, it is not about making money while you sleep, because setting up a revenue stream that can keep ticking on without your ongoing input, something that you can sell time and time again, creating one of these products is actually not as easy as it seems, and getting it right takes a little bit of effort. So if you want to create one of these, think about what you're good at. What do you love to do? How do you help? What's the transformation that you offer? We come back to that all the time, don't we? So have a think about how you could put that into a passive income product. Is there an app? Is there a DIY program? Can you create templates? Is there a mini course? Is there a series of how-to guides? Honestly, when it comes to passive income, there's no limit to what you can create. Anything could be a passive income product. But one thing that does seem to be true in the passive income realm right now is that the more different your product is and the more unique the idea, the more easily it seems to sell. and the quicker it seems to get traction. We've all seen ebooks, we've all seen templates and spreadsheets. So what could you do that's a little less common? What could stand out a little bit more? When it comes to passive income, it's just a matter of creating it, putting it out there, and selling it over and over again. But let's be real for a minute here. I always say there is nothing passive about passive income, at least not in the beginning. It takes a fair bit of work in the beginning to come up with the right idea, to set it up properly in the right system, to have the automations flowing through. So there are a few steps to get this going, but once you've put that upfront effort in, it's done. It's not something you have to keep recreating. So it's a great way to bring some revenue into your business. Remember, like every product and every offer, it needs marketing. You cannot put these products on your website and they just sell themselves while you're sleeping. That's not how this works. You need to put your passive income product into your marketing plan and into your marketing schedule to make sure you're promoting it, because when you promote it, you'll make sales. But if you choose your offer wisely for passive income, and if you market it regularly, it can become a very valuable revenue stream within your business. As we start to wrap up today, let's just recap what we've talked about. So we've talked about 4 different online revenue streams that you could consider adding to your business. These were high ticket, low ticket, memberships and subscriptions, and passive income streams. I believe that the key to a long-term, viable, sustainable business is having a mixture of revenue streams and keeping things diversified, because like in any area of finance, diversifying your revenue streams diversifies your risk. And if something should happen that makes one of your revenue streams no longer able to be active, then you've got other revenue streams you can rely upon. Have a think about your business, how you can add some revenue streams, how you can diversify so you can develop that long-term sustainability and growth that you're looking for. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved having you here on the podcast. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the show. And if you got value from today's episode, please just leave a quick review. I'd love to know what you think. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Empowered Marketing Unleashed. Thank you for listening to the Wellness Business Academy podcast with me, Cass Duffield. If you are interested in growing your practice, come get my free guide, The Practice Success Toolkit, at cassduffield.com or grab it in the show notes. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.